see that is the person wielding that weapon. You know, Cain killed Abel. You know, and that's the problem that we have. And I said, what we need to do is look into how we can stop those things. You know, he talked about doing a disinformation. What about getting a department that can look at young men that's looking at women, that's looking at just social media? What about doing that, looking into things like that, and we can stop that way? But yet they want to just continue to talk about taking away your constitutional rights. And I think there's more things we need to look into. This has been happening for years, and the way we stop it, by putting money into the mental health field, by putting money into other departments rather than departments that want to take away your rights.
Hey, Roger with CNN.
I know.
Do you support any new gun laws in the wake of this Texas shooting?
Do what now?
Do you support new gun laws in the wake of this Texas shooting?
What I like to do is see it and everything and stuff. I like to see it and everything.
A favorite New Jersey trip?
What? Okay, so this is Herschel Walker. He is the guy who Republicans nominated to send to the United States Senate. I wouldn't nominate this guy to give a toast at a birthday party. I'm sorry, but have Republicans heard him speak? Do qualifications or, I don't know, basic communication abilities count for anything? Yeah, I think I just answered my own question. So I'm gonna try to dig into what Walker said here. First of all, in response to the latest shooting in Uvalde, Texas, his suggestion is that we create, and I'm quoting here, a department that can look at young men, that's looking at women, that's looking at social media. I don't think that's going to cut it. I don't think that department is going to do the trick. I don't know what he's talking about, and at this point, I'm pretty sure that even if I did know what he was talking about, I'd have even less confidence in his plan. He eventually goes on to surface the usual Republican pivot point of, well, let's just invest in mental health, which sounds nice, but find me a Republican who doesn't then just turn around and try to slash funding for mental health. While Trump was president, he proposed slashing almost $1.5 trillion from Medicaid spending, which covers a quarter of Americans with mental illness. Rick Scott's plan, released just this past month, calls for allowing Medicaid to disappear altogether. And if you think they'll just renew it, then you haven't heard a word of what Mitch McConnell and the GOP have been saying for the last decade. Greg Abbott only days ago parroted this exact claim, that the state needs to, quote, do a better job with mental health. And yet he also slashed $211 million from the department that oversees mental health programs. In fact, here's a map showing access to mental health care in the country, with the states with the worst access showing up as the darkest states. Notice anything? Of the 25 states with the worst access, 21 of them voted for Trump in the last election. So for all those Republicans who love to pretend that they're ready to invest in mental health, what is stopping you? And finally, let's finish with one last quote from Walker because this is hurting my soul. When CNN's Manu Raju asks him if he'd support any new gun laws, Walker says, quote, what I'd like to do is see it and everything and stuff. So I guess Americans have that to look forward to. And everything and stuff. And look, it's easy to make fun here, but I hope you recognize that when you look at the polls, Herschel Walker is actually leading Raphael Warnock in Georgia in most of those polls. There is actual danger of this guy getting elected to the Senate. I'm less concerned about the notion that he'll embarrass the GOP because, frankly, they are beyond capable of shame or embarrassment. What I'm concerned about is that he'll serve to further entrench the Republican position of doing absolutely nothing in the face of this endless barrage of mass shootings. He may give a bunch of empty policy proposals that, forget about having any chance of being enacted, are quite literally unintelligible. These people see these shootings, see people getting slaughtered in schools and grocery stores and movie theaters and concerts and churches and nightclubs, and their response is to maintain the status quo. Their response is to do absolutely nothing and to hope you forget so that they can keep cashing those checks from the NRA. Those 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds who died in Texas, that is a sacrifice these Republicans are willing to make just so they can get re-elected to another term with the help of gun lobby groups. Herschel Walker is part of that, a useless rubber stamp for a Republican machine that is intent on entrenching the outright worst and most dangerous elements of our society. So it may be easy to laugh at him, but I can promise you that the danger that he'd pose in the Senate is absolutely no joke. To see more videos like this, click the subscribe button right here on this screen. And to support my work beyond that, check out my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, where I cover the week's most important stories and interview the biggest players in the world of politics, including President Biden, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, Katie Porter, and so many more. The link is also right here on this screen. And finally, to take action yourself and sign petitions on the most important issues, go to briantylercohen.com/petition.